The Exam Room Podcast brought to you by the Physicians Committee with the weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. Today, the focus is all about the thyroid. And I'm sitting across the table from a remarkable woman who I cannot wait for her to share her story with you, because when I read this, I was just blown away. Your transformation is just incredible. Jeanne Schumacher, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
It's really an honor for me to be sitting across from you because, like I was just saying, like reading up on you and everything that you went through, and then here you are today just perfectly happy and healthy. Just a few years ago, before you had this transition, like you probably never even thought that this would be possible.
No, it's changed my life.
Yeah.
It really has.
Well, let's talk a little bit about why you are here today, because you changed your life, and hopefully somebody hearing this will say, hey, well, that's me too. I can change my life as well. You had a problem with your thyroid. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it was before that.
Oh, okay.
I think like many of us, I had to hit a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
That you get to that point where you're just not feeling well or healthy. And in this case, I had 105 degree, it was between 105 and 106 degree fever. And I'm like, okay, I think it's time to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And my blood pressure was about 250 over 150. I mean, like, I should not be here, you know. I was very sick, and I was in the hospital for a week. Never so sick in my life. And they never figured out why, and I really don't care.
Well, hold on. That blood pressure again, one more time. Can you?
250 over 150.
How are you even up and walking around?
I know.
Wow.
I know. So, don't. I think, there was somebody up there said, I need to get your attention. Do I have your attention? Yes, sir. You have my attention.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'd never been so sick in my life. But the good news is, and here was the miracle, okay? The woman who was attending me was not only a medical doctor, but she was a nutritionist as well. Such a rare combination.
That is rare.
And every day she came in, and sometimes you have to hit me over the head with a 2x4, to just like really get my attention. That's like, oh, yes, got it. Okay,
Right.
ready?
Right.
So she kept coming in and saying, what do you eat? Tell me about your diet. And she kept focusing on that. And it was like, oh, like there's a connection? Hello? So I went to see her afterwards as a nutritionist, and she started me on prevent and reverse heart disease, and I haven't looked back since.
Well, let's give some background here leading up to that day. I think that a lot of times when, as adults, we reach this point when we're so unhealthy that we wind up in the hospital on a bad occasion like this.
Right.
This is really kind of the culmination of a lifetime worth of damage leading up to that point.
It's true.
So as a child, what was your diet like? What were you eating, and were you overweight?
Oh, my whole family is.
Okay.
I mean, we're morbidly obese on both sides of my family. And, anytime we have family gatherings, it's all about the food.
Sure.
And who can bring the highest caloric density food?
It's a contest.
It's an unofficial contest. Who can bring the highest caloric density food? And everybody goes crazy over it and eats. And that's what we do. We eat from the time we get together. We eat from the time we get together till the time we leave. But I mean, growing up, we had 5 kids, and basically we started out with my mother was always good. We always started with a salad, and then we had 2 vegetables and then a meat, and it was pretty rare that we had dessert. There was no soda in the house or candy. That wasn't until like I escaped and got outside of the house and went, oh my God,
Right.
And Dr. Barnard talks about this gene, that is people that are more addictive to food in that. And I'm like, that's my family.
Oh, yeah.
That's my family.
Oh, yeah.
Without question.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have gambling or drug addiction, smoking. I think all of us smoked for like 10 seconds in college or,
And then we're good. We're done with that.
We were like, this is not fun.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
disgusting. And, and then moved on. But we never had any other major addictions in our family, but food was a big one. So everybody is pretty obese in my family. And so, growing up that way, we were always on a diet. Always. My mother was, whatever the diet du jour was, the grapefruit diet, Well, I'd been on every diet known to mankind.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig. I mean, and you do fine for a little bit of time, but as soon as you stop, the weight comes back and then some.
Yeah.
So you've gone, this yo-yo thing. And I always thought, I thought I did pretty well eating, and my health was in general pretty well. But it was funny because when I connected with Dr. Barnard, he had me go back and look back, and I went and I sat in the doctor's office and I got my sedimentary layer of file, and I started going through this going, I was really pretty sick. I mean, so you would get sick. I would have, UTIs or migraines, or I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I teach in high school, so I've got kids coughing, hacking, sneezing on me all day long.
Oh, yeah.
And you would get the cold sometime in the fall, and then you would get better, and then you get another one because your immune system's low. And then for the whole winter, you just have this chronic cough, cold, going on. And now I don't,
Nice.
I don't get sick. And if I do get sick, it's pretty rare, but I might be down for a day, instead of like weeks. Once I started this whole progression of going down this path, from prevent and reverse heart disease, I didn't stop. I started going to plant stock, which is at the farm of Caldwell Esselstyn,
Yep.
and did that for 5 years while they still had it at the farm. And I immersed myself in this culture and this lifestyle and learning how to change my health and my health destiny. And so as I started to change this way, one of the things I, started realizing my thyroid started going wonky.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when my doctor, in the blood work, picked it up, and she said, your thyroid's starting to go. And I said, okay. And so she handed me a prescription, and, I'm looking at the prescription. I'm like, Doc, this has got 4 refills on this. How long am I supposed to be on this medicine? And she's like, for the rest of your life. Mm. I'm like, no. She's like, well, I've never seen in my years of being a medical doctor anybody heal their thyroid.
Right.
Once it starts to go, that's it. You need to have a synthetic thyroid to help, regulate your body. And like, there's got to be, no. So what was actually happening, and what Dr. Barnard and I have figured out, is like, as I started to release a lot of the toxins that were inside of me, it started to throw my thyroid off. And once I got rid of a lot of the toxins, like 100 pounds worth,
Yep.
then my thyroid started regulating itself, and I came off the medication.
So after you're in the hospital and you were working with this doctor who just happened to be the nutritionist as well, it sounds to me like you went vegetarian more so than full-on vegan.
Just, in the beginning, almost everything else went. Meat went right away.
Okay.
Okay. And it was just maybe a little bit of cheese and a little bit of yogurt,
Okay.
and that was it. But that wasn't long.
Okay.
That was a couple of months.
Right.
And then that was it. I kept reading and reading more and reading more. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I got to get rid of all of, I got to clean it out.
Right.
And that was it. So it's been a journey,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen such changes, not only in myself, but it's just in my demeanor. It's changed my life. And all I want to do now is help other people to change their health destiny.
For sure.
And to see that you don't have to live this, in pain and suffering and in illness.
Right. Again, so your thyroid kind of started freaking out as you were starting to lose weight?
As I was starting to lose weight,
Okay.
and I was releasing a lot of toxins, because there's 2 types of chemicals. I'm a chemistry teacher. I can't help it.
You are qualified. Go right ahead.
So, there's fat soluble, there's water soluble.
Uh-huh.
Okay? If it's water soluble, you're going to pee it out. Okay?
Sure.
If it's fat soluble, it's just going right into your cells. And a lot of these chemicals, your fat almost like builds around it to protect it, almost like an oyster. I can't compare the fat to a pearl, but that's kind of like the idea we're going for here. But that's what happens is you get these fat pockets, and they become these toxic dumps. And so you're releasing a lot of these toxins. And so that's one of the things that happens as you start to, transition. I help people to transition. I've got an online program to help people. And one of the things, I get comments frequently from people that are going through it, I felt better eating crap, and it's like, okay, because your body is healing.
Yeah.
So you got to go through this. You're going to get through it.
Yeah.
you know, and your body's going to start to heal, but you got to get rid of these toxins.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could have headaches. You could feel like you're coming down with a cold or flu or
Mm-hmm.
pimples or a rash, you know, something along those lines. But the good news is once you do clean your system out
Yeah.
and you have those moments that you deviate, like I was tutoring. This is hilarious. This was like one of those Mayday calls. You know, help, can you come and tutor him? He's got a test tomorrow. Okay, so I go over to the house, and I was there for quite a few hours. And I usually bring my food with me.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I brought my food, but I didn't plan for an extended,
Right. Right.
this was a Mayday call. So
I got you.
all right. So on the way home, I saw a bagel place, and I'm like, oh, bagel. And as God is my witness, my intention was to just go get a whole wheat, whole grain bagel, and that was it. Just toasted, that was it.
Right.
Nothing on it. We're good. But I was a cream cheeseaholic. You know, I will admit it. You know, I'll be the first to go, hi, I'm Jeanne Schumacher. I'm a food addict. So the guy goes to me. He says, we have a new cream cheese, and it's got walnuts and raisins and cinnamon and honey. Do you want some? And I'm like, yes.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
The
Just shut
the
down.
filter was there. So, and he slathered it on. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate it like somebody had just been released from jail, you know? So, I scarfed that baby down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wasn't down the road 10 minutes. I had to pull over. I felt like somebody had a samurai sword going through my gut.
Whoa.
And, I just kind of curled up in the seat. And literally, I was in a fetal position. And I sat there for a good 10, 15 minutes before I could start driving again. That's
Right.
how bad the attack was.
Right.
And then I get home, and I literally crawl up to my bed, and I'm in a fetal position on my bed mooing. And my husband comes home, and he's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I ate a bagel, and he's it took about 6-7 hours for it to go through.
Yeah.
And have I had cream cheese since that time? No.
I know. Your hormones are doing great. Your thyroid is doing
Everything
great.
is
Yeah.
amazing. And I can only thank the docs, and say thank you to all of these guys who I stand on their shoulders,
Yeah. Yeah.
and say thank you so much for giving me my health back, my life back. And so I'm paying it forward and helping others.
Well, I appreciate you paying it forward a little bit here with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor to be at the PCRM. I mean, wow, all the things you guys are doing. It's amazing. So.
Well, we are amazed that you are here. Thank you so much, Jeanne Schumacher.